Hi guys, and welcome to my channel, What Came In Today. Today we're going to talk about data backups. Believe it or not, this is one of the most feared topics among my customer. 95% of my customers do not know how to do a data backup. If I ask 95% of my customer, do you do backups? And their answer is always almost the same. It's either I don't know how to, or I thought it was all being done in the cloud. They automatically assume everything is being backed up. So I want to make this video about understanding backups and how simple it can be. So in layman terms, data backup is simply this. Data at two places. This is it. This is the whole nitty-gritty of it. So now we're going to discuss some methods of backup and what it is, how it is, and how simple it is. And how simple it is, all you need is one extra drive. But there's only one rule of backup. Do not do anything on the backup drive. You leave that alone, you don't look at it, you just forget you have it. So let me explain you what I mean. So in this computer, you see, we have C drive, which is our main drive, and you can look at the D drive, it's pretty empty. So if I was to make a document, so I made this document on my desktop. Now, remember, two places. So all I have to do is copy here. Now the data is on C and the data is on D. This is called copy and paste method. This is the simplest method, yet it's also the most unreliable method. Let me explain you what I mean. So now you saw you had one file, you just moved from C, you copied it from C to D, now you have backup. The problem that you will run into is, but let me address the process by itself. The process of copy and paste is actually the most reliable and simplest method. There isn't anything simpler or reliable than that. So what makes it very unreliable? It's actually the human portion of it, which makes it unreliable. So what would happen is, today you copy the drive from desktop to the D. What if there was another file that was not on the desktop, but it was in the document folder, and you forgot about that file? Or there was a file, or 30 days go by, you make some changes to the file on the desktop, but you forgot to copy it over to D because the D still has the outdated file. So it's very simple. Like I said, this backup process is very simple. So let's say you made some changes to this file. Let's see. Okay. So all you have to do again is to update it, copy it over, and it's going to say, hey, there's already a file there. You replace the file. Now the D drive file will look like this. Just the same as the C drive. So this process works, and any backup is better than no backup. Personally, I don't use this method because it's too unreliable. I cannot trust myself to back up everything the way it should be done. So I leave the manual part out. But remember, in your home, the only plants that die are the ones that are not on the sprinkler, because we forget things. So let's begin our second method. Or let's talk about our second method, which is file history. Now so let's say if you're a gamer or somebody who uses computer just for browsing, you might have a couple of pictures here and there. You could care less about reinstalling Windows. You don't use Outlook, nothing like that. The other simpler method would be for you is file history. Okay, All you have to do is search in here, file history. Now you see the file history, you can see you have a D drive which can be used for backup. All you have to do is turn it on. So now any file you make would be backed up onto the D drive. So you see it says files last copied. Since we only made one file, it already has copied the file over. Let's take a look. You see a file is copied. This method works pretty well and it has no issues. Like, it's also a very reliable method. And like I said before, any backup better than no backup. So this is how simple file history is. All you need is a second drive. So what if you have a laptop and it has only one drive? It's pretty simple. You get something like this. Any external drive would work. Pretty much any external drive would work. Now, what I suggest to most people is, since some of the things we're going to talk about, they use incremental backup, it is a good idea to have a D drive or backup drive 4 times the size of C. Now you can also do it double, so you can get away with double, but if money isn't a problem as much, go for 4 times. And also for backup, you don't need SSDs. All you need is a simple drive, old school drive. It doesn't need to be fast. All it needs is to be able to hold data. That's how simple it is. So you saw with file history, your data backup is 1 click away. Okay, so now let's talk about the third thing that I want to talk about is Windows image backup. Now that takes a little bit more clicks, like 5-6 clicks. It backs up everything. It backs up your programs, your files, any program that you might have installed, any configuration. Like if you had Outlook installed on your computer, it would put everything restore back like nothing changed. Okay, so that is more comprehensive backup. And the only problem I see with that backup, sometimes, very rare, but it happens. So let's say if you have any infection on your C drive, that backup is going to fail, always. And other time, very intermittently, the problem that you might face is that the backup, you try to recover it, it gives you errors. It's very picky. It's not like Acronis or any third-party programs. You also cannot restore the data backup onto a smaller drive. So let's say if you had a 1 terabyte C drive and you want to replace it with a 500 GB SSD now, because the other one was a hard drive, it would fail. It would not let you restore the data. But sometimes, very, very few times it has happened, it fails to restore for no apparent reason. But there's no reason why you cannot use file history and data and image backup together. Let me show you. So remember, we turned on the file history. So D drive looks like this. Now this is the image backup we're talking about. So again, it's very simple. Set a backup. Next. My bad, 4 clicks instead of 6. So this would now back up everything in your computer. You would see new folders come up here. See? So now it is already starting to back up the whole computer. That's the third kind. Like I said, you can use both. If you have drive big enough, no reason why you shouldn't use both. Do it. Okay, so when you run this backup the first time, it's going to take a long time. It's okay. You can still keep on working on what you can. I just, as a matter of habit, I shut down everything. If I don't have to use the computer, I avoid it. So after the backup is done, you will see the last date it was backed up, and it says there's no warnings on here. Sometimes you might see something like, hey, the data backup did not complete successfully. Now that is something generally happens when you have a virus in your computer. Sometimes you would see data backup completed, however, some files were skipped. Totally normal, it's okay, don't worry about it. Only time, and remember, if you're still using file history, at least your files are still safe. So, but that's how it should look after the backup is done. The fourth one I want to talk about is more of a concept, but not different kind of backup. What do I mean by that? So let's say this computer has 2 drives, and it's a commercial building. I leave for work today. This computer, there's a fire and water comes pouring down. Both of my drives are bad, or they were burned, anything. However, if I would have backed it up on something like this, and I take it with me to my home, this becomes an off-site backup. And so anything you want can happen here. Doesn't matter, it wouldn't affect me because it's there also. You can also have backup. Again, like I said, no such thing as too many backups. You can have your C and D drive here, and ever so often, it's okay to copy all those contents into this and take it home. Or let's say you have your precious family pictures. It's good to have backups at home, but your backups will not protect you from burglary, fire, flood. You can keep the offsite backup in your safe. So at least you are safe, no pun intended, but yeah, at least you're safe from losing your data. The good thing about offsite backup is it protects you from crypto virus or crypto locker. That means some scammer logged into your computer, somehow put crypto virus on it, or you clicked a file through your email and you encrypted all your files. You're still safe if you had a crypto, you're still safe if you had an offsite backup. Also, I'd like to mention the Windows image backup, which looks like different kind of files like this. It doesn't, most crypto viruses do not target backups, but you never know. Offsite backups, they do have their place. So that is pretty much what I wanted to talk to you about. And in the next episode, I guess I'll show you how you can restore your files from C to D, from D to C. So let's sum it up. So 2 rules of backup. Actually, let's make it 3. Do not do anything on the backup drive. Don't make a folder, don't do your projects, nothing. Pretend it doesn't exist. Don't look at it, don't think about it, okay? Second, any backup is better than no backup. I don't want to be a dead horse, but good to know that. Third, there's no such thing as too many backups. That's the least of your worries. The more backups you can have, the better it is for you. And this is how simple data backup is. And most people are afraid of it or don't know what to do. I hope this video gives you clarity and helps you understand how you can protect yourself from losing your data. If you have a question, ask me. I would love to make sure that everybody is backed up. So till next time, see ya.